Guys, this is a lesson on perpendicular lines. How are you guys doing? Deep breaths. Deep breaths. This is a hard section. This is the first time this year that we really hit some things that are really hard and really kind of make your mind spin a little bit. You can do this. You can do hard things. It might mean you're going to have to watch a video a couple of times. It might mean you're going to have to come in for help. It might mean you're going to need to come to core for help. It might mean you're going to have to do some extra practice, but you can do all of those things. All those things are available for you. And now is the time you need to tap into your resources. Make sure you take really good notes. Really good notes are going to be super key for this. You're going to be able to use your notes to help you with this. Looking back, because this stuff does get really confusing. So deep breath, hang in there. This is our last lesson of the unit. Perpendicular lines. This is it. Last one. And then we've covered everything that we need to cover. And again, there's nothing new in this lesson. It is just taking stuff that we've already done before with slope-intercept, point-slope form, and standard form with those three forms, tying in slope from a line and slope from 2 points, those 5 skills, just in a variety of different ways. So you can do this, right? I have notes for you to glue. I have all of this. You can print this off at home and glue it into your notebook is what I would do. Or if you're in class with me, I'll have these copies for you in class. You can just glue them right into your notebook to make it a little bit easier for you, okay? But take really good notes. Ready? Perpendicular lines. Let's take a look at these 2 lines right here, the red and the blue line, and they are perpendicular. The symbol for perpendicular is this. You see that written, it means perpendicular. So what are the slopes of these lines? And this is the key to this whole lesson today, which makes it different from the parallel line lesson that we did last time. So if I'm doing perpendicular, let's look at the slope. The red one, I have to find a dot there where the graph paper intersects, and I find a dot here. So I'm going to go down 3 over 1. So my red slope is going to be -3 because I went down 3 over 1. So the red line slope is -3. All right, let's erase that one. And let's do the other one. So look at the blue line. Find a dot at the intersection, another dot at the intersection, and that one, what is going on? I'm going up 1 over 3. So the blue one is up 1 over 3. Sorry, blue slope equals. Okay, so notice that one of them is -3 and one of them is +1/3. What do you notice about those 2 numbers? -3 and 1/3. This is the key to this whole lesson today, is to notice this little detail. Notice that they are reciprocals, right? The reciprocals. One is the flip of the other. So we have one over the other. Notice that one is negative and one is positive. So they're not just reciprocals, but they are opposite reciprocals. So we need to take the slope, whatever slope we find originally, and we're going to need to flip it into the reciprocal. And then we have to go from negative to positive or positive to negative. All right? So perpendicular lines are lines in the same plane that intersect at a right angle. They're going to make a right angle. This is called a right angle right here. So it's a right angle. And their slopes are perpendicular lines with opposite reciprocal slopes. All right, that's the whole key to this. Ready? Let's take a look at a couple of different examples. So we have to decide, moving this down, we have to decide, are the lines, we're given 2 lines, are they parallel, perpendicular, or neither? Now, if they're parallel, the slope will be the same. That's what we did last class. If they're perpendicular, their slopes will be opposite reciprocals. And if it's not either one of those 2 things, then it's neither. So let's take a look at the first one. Notice that both of the equations that were given are in standard form. Well, we know how to change standard form to slope-intercept form. We've been working with that last week and then all this week. Just got to solve for y. So we'll subtract 3x from both sides. We'll get -5y equals -3x plus 3. We'll divide both sides by -5. And we'll get y equals 3/5 x minus 3/5. Right, so the first slope that we found for the first one is 3/5. Right, so we're going to remember that. So this one, the slope is 3/5. Right, so remember that. Right, now so for the second one, we're going to add 5x to both sides. We're just solving for y, which we've done so many times before. That should definitely be a comfortable skill by this point in time. Divide both sides by 3. Don't do these in your head. Make sure you write them out. 8/3. So this slope we get is 5/3. We get 5/3 for that one. So are those perpendicular? Well, they are reciprocals. They are the flip of the other, so they are reciprocals, but are they opposite reciprocals? And they're not. They're both positive. So they're not opposite each other. So these lines are not parallel. They don't have the same slope. They're not perpendicular. They don't have opposite reciprocal slopes. So these are neither. The answer for this one would be neither. That one right there. All right, let's take a look at the other one. Let's see. What did I do? There it goes. All right, so same thing. Go ahead and solve both of these for y. Take a minute to just stop the video and take a look at that. Solve both of them for y, which I'm not going to take time in this video to do because we've done solve for y so many times. And then tell me, are they parallel, perpendicular, or neither? Neither? Whatever one you say. Pause the video and give it a try. All right. You should have paused the video. And what I got when I solved this first one became y equals 4/3 x minus 12. And this one became y equals negative 3/4 plus 5. That's what I got when I solved both of those. So if I look at my reciprocals, I have 4/3 for this one, negative 3/4 for that one. So they are reciprocals and they are opposite. So those two lines are perpendicular. They are perpendicular to each other. See how that works? So just solve both for y, get them both in slope-intercept form. Then you can see the slopes and you can compare them and see what's going on. All right, so the directions are down here below. We'll come back to this in a second. Let me kind of walk you through visually and kind of show you. So here I have slope-intercept form and I have a point. So my job is I need to write a point, or I need to write an equation, slope-intercept form, equation of a line that's perpendicular to the one I've been given. So I've been given this line right here. So I can tell it's in slope-intercept form. Thank you. Save me some steps. Yay. So I get m equals negative 2. That's the slope. Well, if I want to write if I want to write an equation for a line that's parallel, like we did last time, I would just use the same slope. I want parallel, I want perpendicular. So what I need for my perpendicular slope, remember that means perpendicular, what I need is I need to make the reciprocal, which is going to be 1/2, and I have to change it from negative to positive. So my new slope is 1/2. Well, I have a slope and I have a point. If I have a slope and a point, what can I do? Right, exactly. This also should be a very comfortable skill for you at this point in time to write point slope form. So knowing that we take that point and we flip the spots and flip the sign. So it's flip, flip between the two things. Then I can solve our y-intercept. Remember, I distribute to get y minus 2 equals 1/2 x minus 3. Then I add 2 to both sides and I get y equals 1/2 x minus 1. There is the equation for this line that if I graphed both of those on the same graph, they would cross at a right angle. They would become perpendicular to each other. See how it works? So you have to take the slope of the first one, find the perpendicular slope, which is the opposite reciprocal. That's the new piece for today. Then everything we've done before. Take that slope and that point, write point slope form, then change point slope form to slope intercept form, just like we've been doing this week. All right, give the next one a try on your own. All right, solve it. All right, what'd you get? So the slope is 3/4. So the perpendicular slope that we're going to need is going to be negative 4/3. Negative 4/3. So we take and we put in that negative 4/3 into our equation. So we have y minus 8 equals negative 4/3 times x minus 1. And then if we take that down, solving it, we end up getting, this one is a little bit trickier. You need your calculator. I mean, you could do it without your calculator. It's just definitely a lot harder. Plus 4/3. So, and then this one, you need to add 8 to both sides. So you just grab your calculator and you put in 4/3 plus 8. And it'll come out as a mixed number, which you can then change to an improper fraction. And I got 28/3. when I put it in improper fraction form. It's not wrong to put it in mixed number form, which is what your calculator is going to give you, but then you can use your calculator. Remember, it's that second ABC. Second ABC changes it from mixed number to improper fraction. All right, and we're almost done. We got this. Man, I know this school year's been so hard. And this unit is hard. This unit, you have to really think and really dig in, and you can do it. So, all right, hang with me for just two more. Two more is all we got to do. Find the slope. Find the slope from a line. So find the point and find the point. And the slope is going to be negative 3 over 2, right? So the slope of the original line is negative 3/2. So the perpendicular slope is the reciprocal that's opposite. So flip it for the reciprocal and then change it from negative to positive. So 2/3. This is the slope that we want to use, and we're going to use point slope form. So we're going to write point slope form, y plus 1 equals 2/3 times x plus 3. Writing in point slope form should also be a very easy skill at this point in time because we've seen it and practiced it so many times. So then from there, we're just going to distribute. We're going to get y plus 1 equals 2/3 x plus 2. And subtract 1 from both sides, you get y equals 2/3 x plus 1. All right, and try D on your own. If you try D on your own, I got y equals negative 2x. Negative 2x, what did you get? Do we match? We don't match? If we don't match, here's why. Take a look at it. Move this up a little bit. Kind of see where do we match, where do we not match. So I found the slope, and the slope was here and here. So the slope was, give me a pen. Slope is here and here. So the slope was up 1 over 2. So my original slope was 1/2. So my perpendicular slope was going to be negative 2. So I need the reciprocal. The reciprocal of 1/2 is 2. And then from positive to negative, so negative 2. So I use that. So I'm going to do y at this point right here. So y minus 2 equals negative 2, my new slope that's right here, times x plus 1. Remember, I take the 2 that's last, write it first. The 1 was first, I write it last, and we flip their signs too. So there's a lot of flipping signs in this unit. So we get y minus 2 equals negative 2x minus 2. And then we add 2 to both sides, and you get y equals negative 2x. So if we didn't match, do you see where we made your error? That's where the growth comes in, where you can find your error and look back from it. All right, and that's it. That's the last lesson of this unit. I strongly encourage you to go to the I can statements and take a look through those. There's videos for every lesson. You can go back through the last 3 weeks that we've been doing this unit, click on any practice, any activity, and kind of just practice skills. Take advantage of all the different ways that I'm there to help you. Meet me online, in person, in core, things like that. Take advantage of those this week and come in and get that extra practice because you can do this. Test is just ahead. Next week, we're going to do review and then test is where we're at. So let's lock in these skills this week. I'm cheering for you guys. Go!